Okay, well, let me give you the lowdown of what's going on. So basically, long story short, there is, it's not actual proof. You could argue it's screenshots, not actual proof. But basically, there is someone within EA apparently or allegedly selling icons for a certain price. Now, this a lot of things that in the community which I'm actually shocked people are not aware of. Number one, they could always give icons out. Normally, when a pro player gets a pro player card, EA makes a specific card for them. They normally give them 3 icons of choice. I know back in the day, those that participated in FEWCs, prior like International World Cup and all that, they got icon cards as well. So it's not a new thing, it's a very, very old thing. This is just evidence, basically, someone selling the cards, apparently someone that works within EA, because obviously they have the complete control over that. And basically an employee works within the bounds of selling icons. Now this is the thing. I'm not defending EA. I mean, everyone knows I'm the person who very criticizes, and I think fairly criticizes EA in the right way. But what can they do here? You know, at the end of the day, this is from Matt, Foot Trading. Look, at the end of the day, apparently there's more proof going back. So we don't know. So this guy could have been, or he or she could have been an employee for, I don't know, 3 years. But this is the thing. The whole community is kind of an outcry because they're saying, oh yeah, prime moments, icons are so expensive. Yes, we all know that. But it's not EA's fault. You know, yes, maybe the person that they hired, let's say this guy's been there for 3 years, maybe let's just say it's COVID. It's not an excuse, by the way, not an excuse at all. Let's say he was low on money and he decided, for example, to do this. He is basically breaking protocol. I'm pretty sure he signed an NDA or he signed a contract with EA. He can't act within his boundaries. So of course he can't do stuff like this. Now obviously it's been caught now. Maybe he's been doing this for 2-3 years. But if EA have trusted this guy, let's say he's been there for 3 years, and let's say, for example, they have systems in place to track them, at the end of the day, you can't really blame EA for doing this. Like, I give this example, like let's say I hire someone as a content creator. Let's say I give a high editor, he edits my videos, and then somehow he leaks out where I live. Or let's say he leaks out all my templates and everything. I can't really do anything about it. People can't blame me for it. I mean, it's the employee's fault at the end of the day. Now, does it kind of look negatively bad at EA? Yes, of course. But I don't think it's EA's fault. What can you do? I mean, imagine you owned a company. Let's say you owned a shop, for example. Yeah. Let's just say, for example, you had a member of staff that was behind your back. Let's say they were buying stuff and just selling it all. Or let's say, for example, there was like a system where you had to, for example, pay for something and you reserve it. And it's kind of like first come, first serve. Let's say you push someone up the list. Now, if I hire that employee and let's say that employee was with me for 3 years, I trust him to handle that. Don't forget, this is a global company. This is not like some small, a corner shop. This is like a global company. So people have responsibilities. Like if I give that person a responsibility and they, out of their own, act out of their boundaries, of course I will find them. I'll fire them once I do the investigation, and then I'll know who it is. And obviously, if I want to sue them, I can sue them. Will it be worth suing them? Probably not, because it just costs too much money, especially in-house. So it's been going on for a long time. It's just common sense. Everyone knows it's already existed in the game. I'm not defending them, but everyone knows in every game. What I said is, so this kind of goes back to there was a scam in a game I used to play called Tibia. Basically, in the late 90s, there was some game masters in. Hang on, let me see if I can find it on Google. Hang on, duping items. Let's see. Okay, so this is basically maybe going to make no sense, but that is the wrong one. 1 second. Just going to look for this. Basically, what I'm going to show you is a link of. It's like an old school game, but basically there was a game master, or basically it's like someone who was really very, very well respected in the industry. This is like late. We're talking about late 1999. Just to give you a bit of an example, bit of context, right? So basically, there's a guy and he worked for this company called Sipsoft, and he was given a responsibility. I think he was a map editor, and he also made designed items in the game. He basically duplicated items and hid them in the game, and he added them illegally into the game. Obviously, EA didn't know. I mean, the Sipsoft didn't know about the company because he did it because it was his responsibility to handle that. The company trusted him. He added it into the game illegally. They found out who he was. It was in the end of the day, and basically after that, I think they fired him or whatever. It was a small company. It was like a very, very small company in the beginning, in infancy, a group of students. I don't think they fired him or whatever happened at the end of the day. but it's in a small company. I think after that, most modern games nowadays, they have trackers. So for example, let's say I have this Rico Henry card, right? Let's say I get him. Once I redeem him, there's going to be a tracker number, like maybe like a, I don't know, 25-digit number, and it will show the origin, where this card came from, what the card accounts are on, which are the exact PSN or ID owners, everything, the time it was data was created, everything. So there is a big chance that each of these individual cards have a tracker on them. So even though they've dished out all these cards, all EA have to do basically is find out if he or she, this individual, whoever have given out their cards, all they have to do basically is find out what cards they've given and basically just backtrack who got it legally or not. Now, how they're going to deal with it, I have no idea. I mean, the logical thing to do from a business perspective would be to the person that paid for it, they're doing something illegally because they're trying to buy a card that's illegal. So they lose their money. And at the end of the day, it's not EA's responsibility to get the money back. It's their responsibility with the person who's doing the black market trading, in theory, for that bartering that was exchanged. So the person's going to lose his money, probably. And it depends if he wants to sue the actual guy or whatever. I don't know how it's really going to happen because you can't in theory. But I doubt EA will sue the employee. Probably just fire he or she. It's not even worth firing. I don't even think it's even worth suing that person. I don't know. Maybe if he's a millionaire, then probably go ahead and sue him. But maybe they might do it just for appearance's sake. Sue the guy, and then obviously all the cards, they'll just backtrack. They'll go through every single ID of the cards that were sent out. Oh, apparently, according to Matt Foot Trading, he has a source. I don't know who it is, but according to him, this has been happening since FIFA 21. More precise showing images of 3 untradeable cards. How long has this been going on for? This is nonsense because this is 3 cards that are untradeable. In theory, this could have been someone who maybe a pro player, or maybe there was a reason why. Maybe they won an EA competition. Maybe they won a competition from EA. At the end of the day, as someone said, it's not the company. Well, obviously it's the company's responsibility at the end of the day, but it's the responsibility of the employee. He acted within his bounds, and he's the one who messed up. So that's kind of my take on it. So they're just going to track it back and they're going to find it. But I agree. The prices are shocking. I'm not letting this get away from the fact that the prices are absolutely shocking. Some of the prime moments cards, like Ronaldo, if you have the money, that is, prime moments R9, he's not even on the market, number one. But just to afford him is one thing, but to even find him on the market is another. And so the fact that someone is, of course, within EA selling, or apparently, as I said, allegedly for this entire video, allegedly selling these cards for coins, obviously brings in that kind of that under the hand, under the book kind of stuff, doing underneath the table, which of course is illegal. Well, I think the communities take opportunity to obviously say it's an outcry and fair play. It's ridiculous how this is 15 million coins. In fact, I think they took steps backwards. I think they've tried to help the community removing fitness cards, making coins so easy to get, but they've also reduced icon swaps. So I think they've not really acted the correct way, but I understand why they did it as a business at the end of the day. But I think the community is mainly getting confused with saying, well, I'm not saying they're getting confused, but they're mainly hating EA for making the cards expensive. At the end of the day, EA can do whatever the hell they want to do. It's up to them. It's their business. They run the show. They call the shots. Same way I decide whatever video I want to make on my YouTube channel. Same way you decide what you want to eat for dinner, assuming that you have that choice. So let's say you make the food yourself or you order, whatever. So everyone has a right to their own choice. EA have complete responsibility to price something at whatever they want. If they want to have only one card in the game, they can do it. They don't care. It doesn't matter. You're playing their game at the end of the day. But I think the bigger issue is obviously this person is selling it and people are getting upset saying they spent. And I understand that. I mean, you got to, in FIFA points, to get 15 million coins, you got to spend maybe upwards of, assuming when the game came out, maybe like 10,000. Maybe £10,000. If you do it very, very astutely when the game comes out, maybe you get 15 million coins. Let's say you even traded then. It's even if you got lucky. So there's no guarantee. So yeah, they probably spent thousands of pounds. So, if you can get someone for like a drop down rate, it could be, I understand that. EA take away the cards, I think they will. But yeah, this is, I just want to kind of give you my opinion on this because I know everyone's going to give their own opinion. And you know me, I kind of say how it is. I think everyone knows my style. I don't really lie. I don't beat around the bush. I say how it is. But you can pause this. Obviously, I was speaking to some people that I know. Obviously, Matt as well. Devils, Zell, and of course, Analyst. And you can probably pause this. And at the end of the day, yes, I agree. And Alice, of course, brings up a good point. Should they, why are they being distributed? They should have been kept track of. Now, this is the thing. What I think is the individual that apparently did it, they have complete veto and authority of everyone. As I said to you, the example of a shop. So at the end of the day, they were given that responsibility. It's not uncommon for in top tier companies for this to happen. In most companies, obviously you might have systems in place, but for these specific individual moments, obviously it's a complete different guy. And Nepenthes goes, it's one guy EA shouldn't doing by selling icons to these people. I agree, that's wrong. Pyramids, however, is a massive kick in the ball that everyone has played EA. Yes, I agree, it's kicking the balls to everyone else. By the end of the day, if the employee, will EA sue him? Maybe for, I mean, if I was EA, would I do it? Maybe I would sue him for appearance's sake, just to prove a point that you can't mess around with me. That's what I would do if I owned EA, to be honest. If I was like the CEO, the big dog calling the shots. But it depends, you know, is that guy even worth anything? You know, we don't know if he actually did it. We don't know if someone hacked his account. You know, there could be a distinctive possibility that person was acting correctly, and then someone hacked into his account and was giving the cards away. Maybe he wasn't doing his proper negligence. Maybe that's why he kind of went under the books. But everyone's making these jokes about it, but yeah, that's just kind of my insight on the whole situation. Do I think it's an unfortunate situation? Yes, at the end of the day, it's not, of course it's EA's fault in some respect, but at the end of the day, it's the individual's fault. They're the ones who made the mistake. I think it's important to, of course, note that down. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.